This is the Paranormal Report. Indeed it is. I am Jim Harold. She is Dar Harold. Hey, Dar, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm in a festive mood.
Me
Santa
too.
Claus having me. And the funny thing about this shirt has
That
to be
shirt,
like,
I cannot
it's
believe
like
that shirt.
Well, here's the weird thing though. It lights up,
can't
but it's like
see it on
intermittent.
camera.
Well, no, it's not lighting up now, but I had it on the other day for another podcast I was on, and it was lighting up. So I'm hoping it'll come back to life here. But it's very festive. It makes me feel in the holiday spirit. So whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
This is the Paranormal Report, where you get a ton of paranormal news interspersed with a little Gen X snarkiness. So,
And a lot of sass.
a lot of sass, particularly from Dar. Dar, I shared this in the virtual
that's
campfire.
Sassy. No,
Yeah, sassy.
there you go.
Sassy. You just want to say
SNL.
sassy. Yeah, you'll get that if you've been around a while. Anyway, the point being, Dar was a little bit down, and I tried to put some words of encouragement in the virtual campfire at virtualcampfiregroup.com, and people were very kind and explained to her
I have a whole
how
list
fantastic
of people
she
who
is.
were very kind. I'm going to forget somebody, but Christina, Nanette, two different Christines, Cynthia, Kelly, Leslie, Chuck, Alan, two Jennys, Deborah, Jennifer, Nicole, Laura. If I missed you, I'm so sorry, but I just want to thank you guys because it meant a lot and it did help.
And I'm calling her now. I'm going to call her from now on Dar Superstar.
And I will continue to roll my eyes. Oh my God.
And by the way, Virtual Campfire Group, you can tell we have a very supportive, great community over there.
We do.
And you can join it for free at Virtual Campfire Group, virtualcampfiregroup.com.
I
hope that you do
PJ too. I almost forgot because PJ wants to go out and craft with me. So we might. No. I swear, if you guys all lived closer, I would have like some kind of meetup set up like every month.
Yeah,
that we would all get together.
That
would be so
very
much
cool.
fun.
I
would love that.
Well, I've got an opportunity to play our breaking news sounder. Here it is. Indeed, there is breaking news in the Conjuring House. Dar, lay it on us.
It's blowing my mind. Okay. Well, it's so funny because I tried to check for this story yesterday and it must have come out right after I checked because I was like, wait, I wonder what's going on with this. Well, here we go. WPRI. So it's a local station in Rhode Island. They're reporting. I am going to do a lot of reading so that I'm not interjecting any emotion or bias or feelings or anything. But this whole house saga of the Conjuring House has like escalated to like 200. The homeowner's sister, okay, Elizabeth Greenhall, I think that's how she's saying her name. So this is, what's her name? Jacqueline Nunez, her sister, okay? She has filed a lawsuit against multiple people, including Ghost Hunters star Jason Hawes, alleging that her sister, Jacqueline, wasn't mentally competent when she handed over the rights to sell the home. Okay, so she's from Utah, Elizabeth, and she's asking a Rhode Island Superior Court judge to block the never-before-seen agreement triggered in October when Nunez is alleged to have signed over limited power of attorney to Hawes' associate, Julia DeMay, to, quote, do all things necessary with respect to the sale of the home with Jason Hawes.
Interesting.
Right. So DeMay and Hawes told Target 12, I believe that's the WPRI, that they had not yet received the complaint and declined to comment further. So this is just a disaster.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think everybody kind of knows the whole story where Nunez stopped making payments. The house was supposed to go for auction in October on Halloween. Excuse me. Everyone's jockeying to buy this property. Hawes has his GoFundMe. And the bank, like I said, was going to put it up to auction, but then YouTuber Elton Casty's company purchased the underlying note beforehand and it canceled the auction. So as it stands now, Casty's company owns the debt, and DeMay, who's hooked up with Hawes, has entered or will soon enter into an agreement to sell the property to Hawes. And Casty and Rife have been trying to buy the house. So we got everybody trying to buy this house, right? So Cassie also had no comment for all of this so far.
Probably smart, seeing it's a legal matter.
Yeah. Greenhall, so this is Nunez's sister, alleges that Nunez was legally incompetent and not of sound mind when she signed over the rights to DeMay to sell the home. She accused Hawes of, I'm reading this, she accused Hawes of conspiring with DeMay and leading a, quote, concerted effort to acquire the property, end quote, despite knowing Nunez was unwell.
So this is all, everything that you've said is reported by WPRI, correct?
Yes. She says, her sister says, Nunez has suffered from various delusions over the past year. And she was, I guess her sister was even accusing her and her husband of engaging in criminal activity. So she's saying she's like not in her right mind. That's what the sister is saying. But all of
this is alleged. Nothing has been proven, but she's launching this complaint.
But it's a lawsuit. It's not a complaint. She went to court and she's doing that. So I went over to the GoFundMe by Jason. It's right now it's at $319,885 of $500,000. And this is what he had to say. He said, this was posted yesterday. So that would be December 9th. I wanted to take a moment to thank every single one of you who has stood with us through this process. Your support and encouragement mean more than I can say. Over the last couple of days, there have been some outrageous and untrue claims floating around. I'm not going to dive into the noise because that's exactly what some are hoping for. The truth will surface and it will be eye-opening. What I will say is none of those claims change the facts and none of them change our path forward. We're staying focused and handling everything through the proper legal channels.
So and we'll just but we'll have to wait and see what develops. We'll have to wait and see what develops.
Keep your eyes out if you're interested in this. This just keeps getting more interesting. The fight. It's a big fight for this house.
Yeah. And regardless of who does end up with it and doesn't end up with it, I hope that somehow it is preserved and it's made available. Hopefully, well, we'll see what happens, but I hope it remains preserved. I'll say that. And we'll see what happens.
Whoever. I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, we're not taking sides. We're just reporting what others are reporting in the mainstream media, just keeping you up to date. I don't care who
gets it. I just want it to be fair. And I want people that want to, if it is preserved, like you said, if people want to go there, I just want it to be fair, right? Yeah. So that people, if they do want to go there, it's at a fair and reasonable, yes, you make a profit, but you're not gouging anybody. Yeah. That's what I'll say.
Seems reasonable to me. Now I'm flipping over to the UFO topic. You found an interesting story. This one was from The Mirror over in the UK, mirror.co.uk. And actually, I don't know that this is new per se because I've seen some of this video that they're talking about, but it is very interesting. An Area 51 scientist made a deathbed claim. He'd worked with aliens for years, and he recorded a video where he talked about, and I've seen it, or some of it. The scientist was Boyd Bushman, and he passed, I believe, in 2014, if I'm correct. Yeah, at age 78. He was a respected scientist, and he worked at Area 51 for Lockheed Martin. If you've been following the subject, a lot of people are alleging Lockheed Martin has extraterrestrial craft, basically. A lot of people are alleging that. We're not saying it's true, but that's what's being alleged. And he said that he had worked with aliens on the subject, and they are real. And the thing is that he wasn't a lightweight. He contributed to developing the Stinger missile and the F-16 fighter jets. So we're talking about a heavy hitter here. Again, he passed in 2014, and he was with his 4-decade stint included serving with Hughes Aircraft, General Dynamics, and Texas Instruments. So all big military-type contractors, he said, we were working on UFOs 24 hours a day. We were trying to learn what to do. And he explained that the most crucial aspect of their work was, quote, reverse engineering, unquote. He said, since I am a scientist, I do not believe in theory. I say follow the data. If something cannot be verified by physical tests that something is true, then I do not care to accept it. Therefore, everything I present here will be data that comes directly from, and they put in brackets, Area 51, to you. A great deal of information should be lifted up from those dark recesses of Area 51 and moved over so people can see it. He said there were 2 categories of extraterrestrials. One were like wranglers, and the other one was like rustlers, who were the ones who were stealers of cattle. He said the 2 groups were different. The ones that are wranglers are much more friendly and have a better relationship with us. He said all of them had elongated fingers and webbed feet, used telepathic communication, and originated from a world called Quintumia.
Oh.
He showed paragraphs and so forth. So look that up on YouTube. Boyd Bushman, Boyd Bushman. We'll have a link to in the show notes. But again, and in fact, later today I'm supposed to be interviewed by a journalist on why people believe about UFOs. And
that was our story last week. Not to interrupt you, but that was from the YouGov story last week.
Exactly.
So that poll.
And that's the thing. Is that I think we believe in because people like Bushman and these military pilots come out. We have Tim Burchett, who is, a U.S. congressman who I just saw another clip where he was talking to Ross Coulthart, and he said, yeah, there's 5 or 6 places where there seems to be hotspots of activity under the ocean, and they're around the continental United States, and there are craft or something moving under our water that goes faster than we have the capability of or anybody else does. And he said a highly placed Navy officer was in his office, and right before he left, he basically said, and this is paraphrasing, one thing I want you to know, they're real. So that's why we believe, because I think the narrative, and I'm going to say this in the interview, I think the narrative out there is that, people believe in UFOs because organized religion is down and they're looking for something to believe in and there's tumultuous times. And some of that may be true, but it's also because we have the government giving conflicting information. We have different people from the government giving conflicting information. We have military people saying these things are real. Maybe that's why we believe. Huh? You ever think? Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I just think, at the very basic level, Jim, just think of this. How presumptuous are we? How selfish are we to think that we're the only ones that exist? Really? Just because we haven't seen it, or maybe some have seen it, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't believe, you really believe we're it. That's it. There's nothing else out there ever. Because we know all about the entire universe. We know every galaxy out there. We know everything. We know everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it's kind of stupid, in my opinion. I think that's closed-minded and being kind of narrow. Open up your mind. The possibility, is it true? It's not true. We don't know that. We don't have the answers yet. But to say that there are no answers because there's no questions, come on. We're not alone. Come on. We don't know. We don't know. Just admit that we don't know and that possibility can exist. That's all. Yeah. I don't know. Instead of making it like this kooky idea. So
Exactly. Well, the next story is interesting because when I was a kid, one of the very first things that got me interested in the paranormal was the Bermuda Triangle. But there's multiple places across the world that are kind of similar. And you ran across one, right?
Yeah, well, I want to thank our virtual campfire member, Andrea. I don't know if she's a VCF. You better be getting in the virtual campfire if you're not, Andrea. But she did send us an email with this next story, and it's from metro.co.uk. It was about earthquakes and a bunch of mysterious light beams in the UK. And they're saying, do they have their own Bermuda Triangle? So this kind of happened last week. A number of sightings of beams of towering light occurred. People told the Metro they saw a beam of light poking out from behind houses and trees at 5:30 in the morning. They were mainly seen in towns and villages near the coastline of the UK, from Newton Stewart, Scotland, to Colchester, Essex, about 300 miles away. That's a big...
Wow.
Yeah. And then later that day, an earthquake hit North England near the Lake District. And they said the epicenter was in Silverdale, and that is right in the center of a triangle that some of the sightings of the mysterious lights. So that's kind of what they're saying. Like, is this, are people saying, is this a sign? They said the one guy, Darren Steger Lewis, 38, he spotted the vertical light while out for a morning run at Ness Point, which is the most easterly point of England. He said the light was out at sea and was crystal clear. And then he thought maybe it was solar activity, but he had no idea. He said aliens did cross my mind, but if we're being visited, would Lowestoft really be the destination of choice? That's what he said. Another gentleman, Wayne, saw the light in Suffolk. He said he had no idea what it was, but he said it definitely wasn't man-made. That's what he was saying. He thinks it had something to do with gas in the atmosphere.
Well, I know that's happened to me before, but anyway.
But yeah, do you want to tell everyone? Never mind.
Let's not get into that. Let's get right to the business. Enough with this foolishness.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, so people then had the earthquake. I actually reached out to my uncle. He's kind of far from there. He's a couple hours away, I think, from the Lake District. So he didn't feel it, but he said, yeah, it's normal. We've had earthquakes before. But they thought it was kind of odd. I was reading, I think, on another story, they thought it was kind of odd because there's no fault lines where this occurred, I think. So they were they weren't sure what caused it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of questions, and they are saying, the article, of course, is saying it's just coincidence. I'm saying what you say, it's too much of a
coincidence to be a coincidence. Yes.
You never know. But it's interesting. So thank you, Andrea, for sending that in.
There you have it. We're talking about the UFO subject, and it's nice when you see academics want to take this on. And there was a recent story in USA Today about a conference that recently happened, international conference. I believe it's the second one by the Society for UAP Studies. It was aimed at establishing a new discipline dedicated to studying unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs. And very interesting. The co-founder and president of the group, Michael, and you're Italian, so you'll know better. Is it Cifone, Cifone, or is it Cifone, or is it Cifone? What would you say? Cifone.
Cifone.
So I said it correct.
Cifone.
Yeah, although I doubt he pronounces it that way, but that would
probably
be
Cifone or something.
Yeah, Cifone. Anyway, he is the society's co-founder and president. Says he's interested in what he calls, quote, I really like this, the empirical weird, unquote. He said that it encompasses things that blur the lines between the real and the possible, phenomena that defy easy explanation, the spiritual, the paranormal, the parapsychological, and UAPs. That's right where I'm at. Now, it's interesting because he's not really a PhD in the hard sciences. He holds a doctorate in the philosophy of science from the University of Maryland. And then another gentleman that he works with has a similar type of degree. I'm trying to find it here. I'm not finding it. Anyway, the point goes on that they say that they have a variety of people from a lot of different disciplines and so forth. And I think what they're getting at is they're not saying it's necessarily extraterrestrials. Basically, the gist of what they're trying to do is say, look, this is a serious thing. This is happening. We don't know what it is. We need to investigate it in a very kind of serious way. And that's it. I mean, they're not saying that it's absolutely little green men. It's very, very interesting. I think it is a good idea. For example, Steve Fuller, an author and professor at the University of Warwick in the UK, said he is completely agnostic about whether extraterrestrial creatures are already here or if these blips on the screen are evidence of intelligent life. He said, we should prepare for it and be open to the possibility. And I think that's really
what
good.
I just said before.
Yeah,
just be open.
Yeah. And I like this. Ciffoni said, quote, "We like to emphasize positional neutrality," unquote. He said, quote, "the methodology and standards of evidence," unquote, "that would be part of any other academic pursuit." So in other words, hey, we're not going to go full woo on this, but we're going to give it the attention and research it deserves. And I really think that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's commendable, and I appreciate that, and that's kind of what we've been asking for, right? I mean, just stop kookifying it. Let's start studying it like it was, like it's a real possibility,
right?
Because in my opinion, it is a real possibility. So why don't we study it that way? And Doctor of Philosophy, in my opinion, still a doctor. It's social sciences.
Right, but here's what I'm saying. I know that's the first thing that he doesn't have a degree in physics. He doesn't have a degree in whatever.
Well,
the hard
all the sciences come together?
Well, and they say that's what they're trying to do.
That's awesome.
And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring everybody together. And we do that during our live streams, our special live streams. We have a special one coming up Saturday, December 27th at 7 p.m., correct?
Yes, I can't wait. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to have the whole Harold Hee-Haw gang.
I'm Buck and I'm Roy. By the way, great musicians.
You could be Roy, I'll be Buck. No.
Well, Roy was a great instrumentalist. People really downplay these guys because they played all shicks. What did I say?
What?
I meant to say shucks. I did it again.
They play all shicks.
I almost said something else.
I know. What's with your...
I can't talk lately. I've noticed this.
I'm losing off on you. That's probably why.
I'm losing my ability to speak.
I can't find words. So.
Oh, shakes. They play the aw shucks, kind of like,
yes.
These guys were tremendous. Well, first of all, Roy Clark was a tremendous instrumentalist. Buck Owens was a tremendous businessman and owned several radio stations. But anyway.
They were just great, actually. Just the talent.
Yeah. The show was goofy. Let's face it was goofy.
Yeah, I watched it.
But
we loved
as
it.
musicians, they were, me too. Yeah, 7 o'clock every Saturday night.
The way I am. Yeah, you got it.
But
right before all the Love Boat, Fantasy Island.
Yeah, you'd have to change channels though because we're on a different channel here in Cleveland.
Of course,
here in Cleveland. But anyway, we try to bring people together under the spirit of Buck and Roy, and have our live streams, our holiday live streams. Are coming up December 27th. So we do giveaways, we do trivia. We'll be there. The kids will be there.
It will not be 4 hours long.
It will not be 4 hours long. We're probably shooting for an hour or two. 7 p.m. Eastern, because we want to, get back to the holiday celebration. But we thought this year we would do it after Christmas, just so we could celebrate Christmas and not worry about doing a lineup for a live stream. But then a couple days after, it's like a little palate cleanser and a little bit of fun. And it actually is something, our live streams are something we always look forward to. We actually have fun too. It's like a party atmosphere when we have our Halloween live stream.
Yeah, absolutely like a party. And, the other reason we thought of doing it after too is because we know how busy prior to Christmas can be. People have parties or they get together with family early or, there's just so much going on. So we just thought, sometimes there's a little break in the action between Christmas and New Year. So why not?
Yeah. So it'll be a good time. Join us. It will be at youtube.com/Jim Harold, youtube.com/Jim Harold. Another thing that I would encourage you to do, we have our Plus Club. You can give it, now this is U.S. only, but you can give it as a gift, jimharold.com/gift, jimharold.com/gift, and you can join yourself at jimharold.com/plus, jimharold.com/plus. And we're going to share with you in the new year, there have been some new developments on the way that we do things. It's not going to affect the programs. The programs are going to come out as they always do. In fact, I think they're going to improve things in some ways, but it's going to change the way that our little business is structured. So we need your help more than ever. jimharold.com/plus. And with that, you get the whole back catalog of the Campfire, the Paranormal Podcast, the remastered episodes that we're putting up with the Campfire and the Paranormal Podcast, where we're taking out the ads and enhancing the audio with 2025 tools. I think all together it's over 2,700 episodes, and the people who are in it seem to love it. So please check that out at jimharold.com/plus. Do you have anything to add, Dar? Anything I missed?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you like our husband-wife ranting and my sassiness, we have behind the scenes that we do. And we're going to be coming out with this one soon. And what are we going to talk about, Jim? I think something to do with the holidays and also a little visit that I attended over the weekend.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that pertains to the paranormal.
It does.
But you won't hear about it if you're not a Plus Club member listening to Behind the Scenes. So,
it was very interesting. Very interesting.
It was interesting. So, another thing that's interesting. A wrestler? We have a story about a wrestler?
Oh, Cleveland's own. Actually.
Oh, cool.
He's from Westlake, and he's caught in a wild UFO mystery after multiple sightings of orb lights appear over Puerto Rico. So the Daily Mail is reporting that wrestler and social media megastar Logan Paul. Paul. What does that mean, Jim? Because I had my own thoughts, but never mind. He shared a video with his 6.4 million followers on X last week, showing this mysterious bright orb that was hovering over Puerto Rico on December 3rd. And somebody from his business team claimed to have witnessed the object flying over a local marina before it shot up into space and it left a visible streak in the sky as it disappeared. The next day, Paul walked into a local pizza shop, and the owner said he saw it and he recorded it, and he started talking with him and his son about it. And he shared the video, and it shows this small bright ball vanishing and leaving a blurry haze behind. And people viewed it like 2 million times. And he said the owner that took the video, he was shaken. He was convinced he saw some kind of hyper advanced technology. You could see the orb drift across the sky, stretch into a line of light, and rotate horizontally, and then vanish.
Wow.
Yeah. And he wasn't the only one. There were people like the next day or a couple days before said they also saw stuff like that in Puerto Rico. So there was like, the little boy who saw it said, that's not a plane. So there we go. Yeah. And I guess Paul even shared his texts with his like businessman who said, I just saw the wildest thing I've ever seen. So I guess a couple years ago, the Logan Paul claimed he had an unreleased video that provides more evidence that extraterrestrial spacecraft are real. And this is his quote, "I'm waiting for the right moment. I'm not afraid to release it. I'm just waiting for the right moment." And this was in May of 2023. So he believes. Yeah. So there you have it.
There you have it, indeed. Well,
more celebrities are coming forward.
Yes, they are. They are indeed. There are.
You had Anna Kendrick with Loch Ness, and I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. The celebrities seem to be saying, "Hey, I'm seeing and experiencing some weird things." Speaking of weird things, We're seeing a lot of weird things in the sky. We know 3-Eye Atlas. Well, now 3-Eye Atlas has a companion of sorts. There is this comet Swan that NASA has been tracking. They've done a 40-day time lapse on it.
Ooh.
And within that time lapse, they also saw 3-Eye Atlas. This is according to, let's see, who is this from? This is from yahoo.com. And it says here, for nearly 40 days, NASA's Punch mission imaged the recently discovered Comet C/2025 R2 Swan every 4 minutes as it drifted through the inner solar system. It may be, quote, may be the longest any comet has been tracked, unquote, with such a frequency, according to a recent NASA announcement. Wow. They said that typically they track them once per day. That's kind of the standard course. But Craig DeForest, the principal investigator for the PUNCH mission at the Southwest Research Institute in Colorado, said, "What's new here is the few-minute cadence of observation." Now, here's the thing. Some people think, there's something weird going on with this thing, too, kind of like Three-Eye Atlas. And I think it was Christina Gomez, who's extremely popular on YouTube, had a video to talk about the way it was positioned at one point. I don't know where it is now, that it was kind of potentially in a pincer move, like they said, military, like one was on one side or one's like on the other side. It's just a lot of weird stuff like that. It seems like they're paying so much more attention to this. Now, part of that, they're going to say, hey, we have tools, we have techniques, we have telescopes, we have things we didn't have in the past. So that's why we're paying more attention to these recent objects. But I wonder if there's another reason. There's also a kerfluffle, and I didn't get into that because I don't know what's real. I don't know what's fake. So I don't want to say, here's an image and this is the real deal. But there's a lot of speculation on Twitter or X that people have put forward and leaked better pictures of Three-Eye Atlas. Ooh. And there's a question, is it real or is it something that came from AI? So it just seems like there's, again, a lot of smoke around Three-Eye Atlas, and now its companion R2 Swan.
Yeah, you have to be careful with some of these photos because they could be AI generated. I was reading on Avi Loeb's site. He got kind of hacked. Somebody created a YouTube channel and AI did the whole thing, made it sound like he was saying things he wasn't saying. He's like, don't listen to it.
Well, that's not technically a hack, but it's
not hack.
Impersonation, yeah.
Okay, sorry, wrong words.
No.
But
well, that's the thing. I've heard that before. People say, "Oh, you must have been hacked." And it's like, well, no, somebody maybe did an imposter thing. It's a different thing. It's an important distinction.
Well, they did. They created a channel, and it was all AI of him. And they said he could prove that it was AI because they had his picture supposedly, and if you looked in the background, his clock never moved. The time never changed.
Right.
So they were enhancing certain things, and
it's scary. I mean,
be careful
it's amazing
out there, guys.
I mean, on some of our thumbnails, I'll be honest, we'll use, if I want a picture of an alien or something, and I don't claim that these are real, we'll use AI these days to make the thumbnails a little more attractive and those kind of things. But it's never claiming to be a person or never claiming to be something real. It's just kind of a visual representation of what the video might be about. But the thing is that, it's scary. I mean, we've watched non-paranormal stuff. There'll be like AI videos of Mr. Rogers or Bob Barker or something like that.
Oh, that is so upsetting and disturbing.
It's upsetting. I mean, some of them are funny, but it is really, you think about it, it's kind of sad. These people, particularly
horrible.
Like Mr. Rogers, worked his whole life to help children.
I know.
Yeah. And then they put these words in his mouth. And I mean, those of us
nice
who grew,
words.
Yeah. Those of us who grew up with him and so forth, okay, this is not Mr. Rogers. But some kids seeing it now, they don't know because the face is slightly off and, you can tell. But people that didn't grow up with him and say like, oh, did he really say something like that? Or even Bob Barker, some of the
didn't they have a video of the
things.
two of them beating each other up over the prize wheel or something?
Yeah, they did. But the thing is, you catch yourself laughing, but then you're like, well, should I even be looking at this? Because this propagates this stuff.
That's right. Don't promote it. I always tell you, don't look at that stuff. But you don't listen to me because, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny, but it's wrong. It's just so wrong. What if somebody did that to you and had you saying things? I mean, that's just, I just hate it. So I don't know. And there's so many bad things and scammy. We just read a local article. Please warn your older relatives, your neighbors that maybe aren't so tech savvy. Please warn them not to fall for these scams. There was a woman locally in Cleveland who was at an ATM at a convenience store gas station, and she's putting money into a Bitcoin machine. And the thank God the attendant called the police. The police came and told her, stop, you're being scammed. She was on the phone with them. She's like, no, I'm not being scammed. My computer's bad. It popped up. No, I'm not being scammed. The officers are begging and pleading with her.
Yeah,
and
stop.
They only got her to stop after she already put in $5,000 into the machine. They wanted 18 grand.
Good Lord.
Please do me a favor. Be kind. Please warn all of your elderly people or people who aren't as tech savvy. That's not going to happen. Please don't do that. So it just makes
sad.
me so
It really
upset
is.
and sad.
It really is. And nobody's immune to it. Nobody's immune to it.
No.
So,
but what's not sad is this next story.
Yes, we never give Bigfoot enough love on this show. I was so glad to see this story.
Yeah, so this is from BBC.com, and this teenager is hitting the big screen in Hunt for Bigfoot. And he's got a new documentary. Daniel Lee Barnett, he's 15, from Stokersea, Somerset, traveled from his place to Washington in the U.S. to search for Bigfoot with a team of experts. And they created a film kind of showing how he went out into the woods with these experts looking for Bigfoot. Okay, so you're like, well, who cares? Who's he? What's the big deal? Well, he struggles with autism. And so this documentary has been picked up by streaming services in the UK and America. And he just said it was such a pleasure to learn from them and have them as his mentors, you know. So he spent a couple years filming this, and he just said it was, you know, he's also talked about his autism. So I think that's what's so great about this documentary. He said, there's been many times I've struggled at school. Sometimes I can't learn in the four walls. And he said, but when I started to go into the forest, I began to calm down and relax. And it started with his grandma and grandpa. They started taking him for walks, looking for deer and different critters. And he just wanted to go outside and, you know, see the rabbits, the trees, the flowers. And they noticed immediately when they were outside on their little adventures that he was more calm. He was more chatty, enthusiastic. And it just made such a difference in his life with his, you know, and how he, you know, kind of deals with his autism. And it just, going with the group also helped with his social interactions, which is so important. It's just, so I don't know, this story was just so great. And I would enjoy seeing this documentary. We have to see if we can find it. They didn't say what the name of it was, which I thought was a little odd in this story. Let me double check, weird. But I'm not, it just says the documentary follows the hunt for Bigfoot. But
honestly, anytime I hear of something where someone who is, you know, dealing with autism.
I'm sorry. My Bigfoot life. Sorry.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right. Anytime I hear someone is, you know, dealing with autism and they found something that is helpful to them, it's very personal to me because my brother, kind of dealt with autism in a very strong way before he passed. And so my heart goes out to everybody who has, you know, to deal with that particular situation.
Yeah. Well, I having worked with, you know, many clients with autism, it's just so important. It's not cookie cutter. It's just so important to make treatment individual and find what's going to work for that individual person because it's not the same. Like, for instance, I mean, I don't want to get too personal, Jim, but your brother struggled with communication.
Right.
Mainly nonverbal. And then there's, you know, people like Daniel who can communicate in full sentences.
It's literally a spectrum.
That's why they say it's a spectrum. It's an umbrella term. So it's so important to find something that will work for the individual. And, you know, kudos to Daniel that being outside and being exposed to nature really helped him blossom. So it's a great story, I think.
Yeah.
So
very good indeed. Well, interesting. You know, I've been saying, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. Mm-hmm. And there was literally a fire near the Roswell situation where the Roswell Air Center actually was at the Roswell Air Center. This was, I believe, last Thursday, just south of legendary Hangar 84, a site long tied to the infamous 1947 UFO crash. And I believe this is from, let me double check. It is from
Daily Mail.
Daily Mail. There you go. dailymail.co.uk. We always want to give credit. They said it was pretty serious. They said they initially feared the fire could trigger a dangerous explosion due to hazardous material and oxygen bottles stored nearby. They got the fire under control almost 2 hours after it started. It looks like they got it controlled by 9:45 p.m. Thursday, and they don't know what caused it. No injuries, and they have not confirmed the cause of the fire or whether any historically significant objects were affected. But Reddit, they think there's a cover-up. They are destroying the evidence, somebody on Reddit said. Chances are they were storing alien bodies in this hangar for 80 years, but when a documentary came out, they were like, all right, boys, they all know now, time to light it up and skedaddle. Now, let me say something here. That's idle speculation, seriously. I mean, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. I mean, I don't know that we do ourselves any favors when we automatically jump to the most conspiratorial explanation. Do I believe the government is covering up stuff about UFOs and potentially ETs? Absolutely. Do I believe everything is a cover-up and everything is a conspiracy and maybe sometimes there's just a fire? You know? I mean, I think you're disagreeing with me.
I am disagreeing with you because I am more conspiratorial because I always have questions. Well, why now? Why over there? How come they don't know what the cause? What's the cause? Hello, we have firefighters that like forensic firefighting that can tell what the cause of fire is. Why don't we know the cause? Okay, so no cause. It was done, thank God, when nobody was around and got hurt. It's in the famous area.
But it would be interesting,
Jim.
Now, that's the question.
That documentary came out a couple weeks ago.
The age of disclosure. Well, I wonder, will they come out with the cause eventually? And that might make it a little less conspiratorial. But I bet you never hear anything about it again.
That the cause, I bet you won't. And you have to believe that the cause is what they said the cause is too. You have to have trust. I guess I'm very distrustful. I guess that's what my problem. It's not even so much conspiracy as it is trust. I don't trust any of these people. They spew all kinds of lies all the time. The government's always lying. Everybody's governments are lying. Everybody just lies. You get these influencers on, these women. I just went to this famous restaurant. Oh, my meal is so good. And then they don't eat anything. They took 2 bites for the camera. Lies. So, okay.
There you have it.
You had to rant, but I think that's what it is.
That's the sass coming back. Sassy.
I guess.
I hope we didn't interrupt each other too much today, though. I don't
just right in here. I did.
That's all right. That's right.
And
I can't speak. I keep mispronouncing words and stuff. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I do this all the time or just for this show. I'm just like,
it's not misspeaking. I think it's like a processing. Your brain is moving faster than your motor, than your mouth can.
My brain's not that fast. It's not that, very slow processing.
Oh, liar.
Sad, actually, I'm not joking. When I heard this story, this shocked me. I had no idea. Tell us what happened.
Sorry. Teddy just puked. Okay.
Oh, okay. But the show must go on.
The show's going on. I'll clean it after. Okay. I was also shocked, Jim. And then this led me to some questions. So this is from Daily Mail. But it's all over. I think People had an article about it as well. Celebrity psychic Tyler Henry offers an update on recovery from his second brain surgery in 6 months.
Good Lord.
Had no idea. And I like Tyler Henry. I've watched a number of his shows and I like watching what he's done. In fact, I just watched something a couple weeks ago. But anyway,
another guy won't come on our show, but that's neither here nor there.
He had a recurring cyst removed.
And
it's like the
scary.
It's his third surgery total. He said he's doing well. He's healing well. He just wanted to clarify, yes, I had another brain surgery, but they were finally able to remove the cyst that has lived with me since I was born.
Wow.
Talk about an unwanted roommate now evicted. prognosis is great, but the recovery demands a lot of rest and no work. So he's not going to be in any spotlight till after February.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said it's been on a weight on him for a long time, and it's finally wonderful to be free of it. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he said, his husband said that in May he had surgery because he had another surgery. So that was his second one in May. The symptoms of swelling were starting to return in his brain.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. So what kind of makes me wonder now, is that going to affect any of his psychic abilities?
I don't know.
Having
It's
something
interesting.
removed. I would really love to see if he's going to, how that works. Is it just consciousness? Is it actually an area in the brain? Psychics are just amazing to me, especially the very highly accurate ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just,
and for the record, I believe that there are people with real psychic gifts. I don't think, I think there's this narrative out there among some people, they're all frauds, they're all scams. I do not believe that for a minute. Mm-hmm. Now, are there frauds and are there scams who claim to be psychic? Of course there are. But I think there are people who are highly, highly gifted and can tap into something we don't understand. I believe that 100%.
I do too. Totally. I don't know how.
Neither do I.
And I have more questions about that. And you really guys want to, you want to tune into behind the scenes this time.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that very subject, actually.
We are going to talk about that subject because I have, that's all I'm going to say. But oh my gosh, unbelievable. But yeah. So I feel bad for him, but I do now wonder if it's going to affect any of his abilities. It'll be curious to see if he's having any, side effects from it, or if he's still able to receive those messages, for people. It's so important for some people, right. Well, I got to tell you this next story, Jim. So interesting. We're going to end on this story. It is so, so interesting to me. And I know it's up your alley.
Yeah, I'm glad you found this one because it's not paranormal per se, but it's definitely in that unsolved mysteries kind of category. And we just recently had a big anniversary. This has been 54 years ago. The anniversary was November 24th, 1971, of the D.B. Cooper hijacking. And it's probably one of America's greatest unsolved crimes in the sense that we knew it was D.B. Cooper. Actually, it was Dan Cooper. I believe he signed his name Dan Cooper, but it had been mistaken as D.B. Cooper. So now we call him D.B. Cooper. Did you? We don't even know if that wasn't his real name. That's what he signed his name as. But anyway, I was really interested. I listened to a little bit of this before the show. Of course, he hijacked and parachuted. He got 4 parachuted and had $200,000 in cash. And I think it was around 1980. A little bit of that cash was found by a child, but they were never able to trace it back or find him. I mean, there's suspects out there. If you look online, there's people who were attached to different airlines and things that were suspects, but it's never really been solved. Well, they did this really interesting thing. They've actually released some audio from the pilots and so forth trying to deal with this situation. The voices in the recording are mostly those of Captain William Scott, co-pilot Bill Radazak, and Northwest Airlines Director of Flight Operations Paul Soderlund. It also mentions Al Lee, the chief pilot for Northwest Airlines in Seattle, who was tasked with fulfilling Cooper's ransom demands. And the thing, and it's not in the story, but it seems like Cooper was very knowledgeable about parachuting and those things because he was very specific in the kind of parachutes he wanted. He wanted multiples so they couldn't be booby-trapped. Just very sophisticated. And he knew, I read something that he seemed to know more about the operations of the airplane and how low it could fly and do different things than the pilots did. Yeah. So this guy was definitely had some kind of either parachuting or aviation background or whatever. But I was listening to some of that, and there was a little clip on there. And again, I can't verify this, but they said it was released by an anonymous source who did not want to be identified. And and that's only 12 minutes, but I guess there's more, and they're working on restoring it. Because now we know from our own thing, somebody can record with us these days, and it's very different than it was 20 years ago or even 10 years ago, and not have the greatest audio. And pretty easily, we can make their audio very listenable. And sometimes you guys have no idea. You'll hear somebody on a show, and you're like, boy, they sound pretty good. They didn't sound pretty good when we recorded it, but we have wizardry these days. But for stuff like that, that's great because you can, this is where AI can help. This is a good application of AI where it can really eliminate a lot of that background sound, bring the voices out without changing them. So I'm going to be interested. I'm going to listen to that full thing after we're done here because I'm fascinated by this stuff. Well,
imagine how he was able to pull this off in 1971. So no computers, no internet, no anything to help. Now, nowadays they couldn't do it anyway because there are computers and internet and all.
Well, yeah, and so if you play, you have to give your life history if you fly, but not back then. You sign a piece of paper and off you go. I mean, they didn't even have. I don't even think. In 71, they even had metal. I don't know for sure, but I don't believe they even had metal detectors.
No, just amazing. He was able to pull it off, and they never figured this out.
Now, he may have perished. Some people believe he died, but they didn't find all the money. So I wonder if he lived and got away. And he's been made somewhat of a folk hero, but I don't think that's really appropriate. I don't think he's a hero. He's a thief, but a very smart thief.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Indeed. You have an update on a story we covered last week. Yes.
Update. Okay.
Tell us what happened, Dar.
I will tell you. I'm going to report that Baba Vanga was wrong. Wrong.
Really wrong, Jack Jamando.
Yes. Well, see... Okay, anyway, we'll just start out. There was no alien ship that descended or landed during the FIFA World Cup draw that was happening in Washington last Friday. No reports of any alien. But here's what I say.
But there was somebody else there, but we won't get into that.
Can you imagine if a alien thing did land while he was there? That would be so funny.
You have a lovely spacecraft. I would say some people say it's the most lovely spacecraft ever.
Come golf with me. No, I don't know.
Mar-a-Lago.
I don't know. Anyway.
He gave him one of his watches or something.
I don't care. But anyway, nothing happened there. But see, here's my commentary. Baba Vanga didn't say it was going to happen at the FIFA World Cup draw.
It's the interpretation.
Yes. So somebody interpreted that because earlier in the year, they interpreted that it was going to happen at the Super Bowl. It did not. Maybe she's wrong about the year. Maybe it's going to happen next year, in a few years. Who knows?
Or not at all.
Don't know. But
it's the same thing they do with Nostradamus.
Aliens.
Every prominent politician that comes up, because I believe Nostradamus talked about the Antichrist. They're all the Antichrist, And it's, again, on both sides. This Republican is the Antichrist. This Democrat is the Antichrist. This world figure is the Antichrist. And it turns out none of them turn out to be the Antichrist. But
they're just evil, some of them.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll see what ends up happening and just keep your eyes out. I mean, it might happen at some other sporting event. Maybe it'll happen at the next Super Bowl. I don't know.
Now, here's the question.
Or maybe, like you
tell
said,
me which is more likely. An alien will land at the Super Bowl or the Cleveland Browns will make it to the Super Bowl. And I think the alien will land.
100. Because there we go. Browns are never going.
Shador, man, though. Shador is the man. He has been disrespected by their coach, in my opinion. And I wish Shador all the
Stink
greatest.
Fansky needs to go. And I actually call him another name, but that's not appropriate for on air.
Yes.
But
not
he needs to go.
Air.
And I have said he needed to go years ago, where everybody's lauding him as the coach of the year. He was not the coach of the year ever. Take a look at the records. Anytime there was a good record, it was despite him being the coach, not because
and it was the
he
assistant
the coach.
coaches who supported him who are no longer here.
Yes, or a great
fired.
quarterback like Joe Flacco, who's now doing amazing things in Cincinnati.
Or Baker Mayfield, who he didn't like, apparently.
No. So he's a horrible judge of talent. He's a horrible
in our opinion.
Coach. My opinion.
Allegedly.
Completely. No, allegedly. In my opinion, he's horrible. I don't like him. I could go out there and call plays better.
I wish him personally the best in his next job, hopefully next year.
I don't care what he does. I don't wish ill on him. I just want him gone from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Please leave.
Maybe we ought to do sports talk next. We'll do Browns talk and just...
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, it would be fun.
You guys think I get really ranty about this stuff. You should hear me about sports. And our daughters have no interest in
none
sports.
whatsoever. Although a little bit more
Natalie
with the
does.
Ohio State Buckeyes. Of
Natalie
course, who
has interest.
fell to the Hoosiers. Congratulations, Hoosiers. Buckeyes, you blew it. But hopefully there's still hope they could still win the national championship. So we've got our fingers crossed. Yeah, but it kind of
tarnishes it, don't you think?
It does a little bit, yeah. But somebody made the point they hadn't lost a game in a calendar year, and that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, but then other people are saying that's because their schedule was weak. I don't know. Yeah. And you guys don't want to hear about this stuff.
Yes,
you tuned in for paranormal.
Not for sports.
The Browns winning anything would be very paranormal.
That would be one of the great, what's wrong with the Browns? One of the great unsolved mysteries.
Unexplained.
Well, we will be back. Okay, today is the 10th. We'll be back on the 17th with another Paranormal Report, and then we'll be taking a little bit off into the new year. We want to have a little bit of a break too. The other shows, Paranormal Podcast and Campfire, will continue as usual. We actually have a Christmas Day Campfire.
Yeah, that's going to be fun and exciting. I have a story, a very short story on there.
Oh, go. Yeah.
On the Christmas Campfire.
Yeah, I thought you had another story.
No. Are we putting out a best of this show for like the week after Christmas, or are we undecided?
We might very well do that. Yeah, I think we should do
Maybe.
that. Let's just say we will do that. We will do something for the week after Christmas, but definitely. And I
have an idea that I'll run by you afterwards. So
okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah, but first and foremost, we have to thank you guys for joining us today. Hope it was good. Hope we didn't talk too much over each other. Got to duct tape my mouth. I guess.
You know what's really weird about this show is that we don't time it out, and it ends up almost exactly the same time every week, right around the same time. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like
it is weird. I posted this in Virtual Campfire because somebody said they like our banter, and husband and wife. And you and I were talking to a family friend about this because she listens to the show. Shout out, Barbara. And, she brought up the point that, you guys are authentic. This is your real selves. We're not putting on an act or a show. This is us. This is us. This is if you guys were over our house and we were just talking, having a conversation. We always interrupt each other. Is it appropriate? No. And when I taught social skills, I said, don't do that to my students. But there you go.
As we said in the show today, we disagreed. We disagree on things and have a vigorous exchange of ideas. Well, we'll talk to you next time. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year's. Talk to you next time on the Paranormal Report. Bye-bye. And
bye-bye.
Stay spooky.